What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's Leonard Miles, aka 2 Degrees in the CDL. Hopefully everybody's having a blessed day, a great start to the weekend so far. And my mind is definitely going great. Of course, being able to get some rest and relaxation over this weekend is definitely necessary. I got to head back out on Monday, so I'll be heading up to Indiana. My truck is fixed, so I'm definitely glad about that. So I got to head on up to Indiana on Monday. It's an 8-hour ride, so it's not that bad at all. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, I definitely miss being out there, so I'm definitely excited to be back out on the road. Please make sure that you all like, share, subscribe to this channel. Like all the videos. Please watch the videos. This is me in my most transparent form. I've always been the type that kept the way I felt inside of me, but I also want to be a blessing to others, to be able to speak their truth as well, and not feel that they gotta compress everything in till they explode. That's definitely not healthy. So I definitely encourage everybody to work on the communication and be able to speak. Don't bottle that stuff in. So this is just me sharing my stuff on this channel with you all, and just hope that you all can benefit from it. So as promised, I said I am going to talk about my first trucking interview, and it was with Yellow. It was with Yellow Freight. Of course, well, everybody doesn't know, but Yellow did file for bankruptcy. So they're in the process of selling all their assets because they have a lot of people that they owe. They owe the U.S. government, who bailed them out in 2020 during the pandemic. The U.S. government also had stake inside the company, and I want to say it was 30% stake that they had, and on top of that, they had to pay back the loan. So yeah, like they owe some people. They owe some people. I did see, I may be wrong, but I believe I'm right. I did see where the LTL company Estes, that they put in a bid for like 1.5 or 1.6 billion, to buy all of Yellow's terminals. And I believe they had over 100 terminals. So, they're in the bidding war right now to get those properties. On top of that, I'm not sure how many of you all seen videos. I've seen videos from World Star Hip Hop about, Yellow shutting down. And I seen a guy who was working, 35 plus years with Yellow, only to be told that his pension, he wouldn't be getting that. So of course, he was angry and irate, as he should be. I've seen videos on Mother Trucker News, and I'll tag him, in this video as well. But definitely, I've seen the videos, that he had where, people had, secret meetings recorded, where they're talking to management, like upper management who came down and speaking to guys at the Houston, Texas location. So there was a lot of angry drivers in those meetings, as they should, because they want to know what does my future look like? Like, what does life look like at this moment? Like, nobody's saying anything. So a lot of people had questions, and they never got answers to them. It was a sad moment. It was definitely a sad moment to see, especially people been working there 10 plus years, 20 plus years, 30 plus years, really fully vested, only to be told, yeah, you don't have a job anymore. Like, only to be told that you have to start over. We don't have your pension anymore. So if anybody from Yellow, whoever is watching this video, I would like to know, did they give you all like any type of severance package or anything, you know, when they did close down? Like, if you were on the brink of retirement and you had a pension and it was lost, like with them selling all these assets, do you all get that money? Like, what's occurring? Like, I really would like to know, because it's sad. It's very, very sad, you know, to see that something that you put your blood, sweat, and tears for, it's been taken away, and you've been told that you have to start all over again. And for some people, like, you know, there's not many, you know, trucking companies in that area. So you may tell, like, the person may have to uproot their family, you know, and they didn't have the means to do so. So a lot of people were dependent on Yellow and all the subsidies that was under Yellow, YRC, Holland, Roadway, any subsidy that was under, you know, the whole Yellow Corporation. You know, people depended on that. That may have been the only trucking job in their town, and now they have to find work elsewhere, and it may cost them, you know, a lot of money to get to and from. So definitely continue to pray for those fellow truckers, you know, that were working with Yellow. Which leads me to talk about my interview that I had with Yellow back in January of this year. I interviewed with, I forgot what the gentleman's name is. It doesn't matter at this point. But it was for the location in Macon, Georgia. It sounded really nice at that moment. You know, I think the biggest thing for me that really drew me to Yellow was the fact that the company paid not only for your insurance, but if you have dependents, it covers their insurance as well. I don't know if you all have been looking at insurance, like, but insurance is expensive. Health insurance. So to be able to have a company pay 100% of the insurance and you pocket that money, that's major. Like, that's big. Like, I only saw a handful of companies that did that, and Yellow was one of those companies. So I completed the phone interview. The phone interview went well. I really liked my chances. Once again, I was new coming out of CDL school, so just to remind you all, I had just graduated from CDL school November 28th of 2022. So, like I said, I'm applying for everything. Even when I'm not qualified, I'm applying for it. I saw that they required you to have your hazmat endorsement. I applied. You know, just because it's like, hey, like, all they can say is no. All that they can say is no. And I really like my chances. And of course, you know, they went with somebody else. And, you know, I asked the reason why, you know, because I want to get feedback when I go on these interviews. And, you know, the main thing they say, you know, was just the experience. You know, just me coming out of, you know, CDL school. You know, they just wanted me to get with another company first, you know, to get some road experience under my belt. And then, you know, once I get that 6 months to a year, then I could reapply. And I said, okay, cool. Like, that Yellow interview was probably one of my best interviews, because the guy, he didn't leave me hanging. Like, it wasn't an email that was sent, like one of those automated emails saying that you didn't get the job. Like, the guy called me back, you know, and told me, hey, like, we decided to move on with another candidate, and here's the reasons why. I respected that. I respected that wholeheartedly. So I always kept Yellow in the back of my mind. And then a few months down the line, of course, you know, from January, you know, to that summer, that's when, you know, I'm seeing everything on these news outlets, you know, that Yellow is going back and forth with Teamsters, which is the union company, you know, as far as about the money, when it came to, you know, paying employees. So you're seeing that going on. And then, you know, you're hearing in the background that there's a possibility that Yellow may be going bankrupt. Of course, you know, the people on the behind the scenes, the big wigs, they're not going to tell you, okay, yeah, that's what's going on. Of course, you know, they're going to walk it back. No, that's not what's going on. That's misleading information. And then, you know, when you get people on the inside, you know, starting to tell, you know, reputable sources on, you know, on this YouTube space, you know, in the that have cash in the trucking community, that, yeah, like, we're really going bankrupt. You know, of course, you know, that puts even more pressure on the company to, like, all right, how do we want to handle this? And it wasn't handled properly, in my opinion, you know, when it came to, you know, them letting the employees know that, hey, we're going to be closing down. I still feel like they try to dance around it. You know, what you're hearing is not true, and, you know, don't believe the rumors. And then, you know, you get to a place where, oh yeah, we're good. We're gonna re-up things with the union. Yeah, we're gonna be good. And all of a sudden, you're not. And it just leaves so many questions unanswered. You know, like I said, I feel for those drivers. Like I said, you know, I've only been driving for 6 months now, but I feel for those drivers that, you know, that had to start all over again. Like, it don't matter how much time you put into the company. Time is time, regardless. Like, it's like, man, like, all that money, like, you got bailed out. It's like, where did the money go? But then you see certain people within the organization that were making, you know, millions of dollars, like, as salary. As salary. And it's like, man, what about the drivers that get things to point A to point B? Like, they can't get any of that money? Like, didn't they put in, you know, the man hours as well? Like, so it's just one of those things. It's like, man, like, I still would like to know, like, where did the money go? Like, $700 million? Or was it one of those things where they bit off more than they could chew? Like, should they have not taken that $700 million? Like, because they knew that it was really no way for them to pay it back. You know, so you got the U.S. government, you know, they getting stake in the company. On top of, you have to pay them, you know, towards the loan. So it's just one of those things that, like, so many questions were just unanswered. And, you know, me being with the company that I am now, I look at it as like, man, I dodged the bullet. Like, I am just so fortunate that, you know, I didn't take that job with Yellow. Number one, I wasn't offered the position. And like I said, you know, and that's why I believe, like, God had, you know, something else planned for me. You know, so I'm just sitting back and it's like, man, like, I interviewed with them. When everything went down, I was like, man, I interviewed with that company right there. Like, and they're going bankrupt. And I know companies, you know, come and go, but Yellow's been around for decades. They've been around for a long time. Like, they were one of the leaders in the LTL space. And to just not be around anymore is baffling. I was in Evansville, Indiana, at the Peterbilt dealership, you know, getting my truck checked out for however many times I went and got it checked out. And I happened to just look across the street, and there it was, Yellow Freight. But of course, nothing was going on in there. You know, they had the trucks, you know, blocking off access, you know, to the gate to get inside of it and stuff like that. So it's like, man, like, this is really real. Where I am in Columbus, Georgia, we don't have Yellow Freight. So, you know, we have other companies, you know, other LTL companies. But to just be next to one of their terminals You know, my main thing was like, the main thing that I was thinking at that moment was, where are those drivers working at now? Because if you've ever been to Evansville, Indiana, there's nothing really there. There's nothing really there at all. Not from what I can see as far as like potential trucking jobs and stuff. You would probably have to go to Kentucky, and they weren't too far from Kentucky at all. Like, so Evansville, Indiana, and I think Henderson, Kentucky were like right next to each other. So you probably had to go to Kentucky, you know, and find another trucking position. So that was just the main thought for me. Is like, man, I feel sorry, you know, for those truckers, man. And, you know, I'm sure everybody, you know, was able to find something. And like I said, you know, I pray that, you know, every driver that was working for Yellow find something that was 10 times better, you know, because you deserve better. You don't deserve to be left in the dark and, you know, upper management, you know, tiptoeing around the issues, and they don't want to come out and let you know exactly what's going on. So they're giving you this false hope, you know, that things are going to be better, when they know deep down they were sent, you know, just to keep the peace. But they already know that it's over. They knew that it was over, and they led people astray, had people thinking like, hey, it's going to work out. You know, some people are like, hey, man, I already got my years in and stuff like that. I can just go ahead and retire. You know, I can do this, I can do that. I still want to know about the pensions, though. I still want to know if people had money in pensions, were they able to get that money? Like, I really hope somebody, you know, leaves a comment, you know, that worked for Yellow, and let me know, like, hey, yeah, we got our pension, or no, we didn't get our pension. Like I said, you know, it's just real unfortunate. But like I said, you know, I definitely dodged the bullet. I definitely, you know, I dodged the big bullet. And man, like, it just goes to show you that trucking businesses, man, they really come and go. They really come and go. If you have poor management, you know, poor leadership, because there's no way $700 million that you received from the federal government, and 3 years later you're wiped out. It just doesn't add up. Like, it's really not adding up. So that's the thing with Yellow. Yellow left with a lot of questions unanswered, and man, it's tough. It's really tough. But I'm sure all these drivers that lost, you know, their jobs, you know, in the whole ordeal, I know they bounced back, you know, and, you know, I know they got into better positions where, you know, they feel much more secure. But it just also goes to show you as well, you know, you got to definitely have your money saved up. You got to definitely make sure that you living within your means. You know, because I'm pretty sure there were some drivers that, you know, they were dependent on that check, that they were living paycheck to paycheck, you know, and they didn't get that last check, and they may have, you know, lost their house. A bill wasn't paid. The car got repossessed. You know, they couldn't pay for their kids' private schools. There's so many factors in that. And my heart goes out to them. But like I said, you know, I would definitely say, you know, if any driver fell into that category when they were living paycheck to paycheck and they were working with Yellow, I would definitely say, you know, make sure moving forward you budget your money. Make sure that you really save for moments like this. Make sure you have a 6-month savings, like, so when stuff like this happens, it's like, all right, your job laid you off or the company closed down, but you're good for 6 months. You can find something, you know, immediately. So therefore, you don't have to worry about, man, like, I can't wait till we get paid on Friday. I can't wait till we get paid on Friday. I can't wait till we get paid on Friday. That's no way to live. So definitely in this trucking industry, you have to be smart with your money as well, whether you're working for a company or if you're working for yourself. You got to be able to budget. because I know everybody didn't walk away from yellow and they were fine. I'm sure some people, it impacted them a lot. I'm sure it did. And for those that, you know, it impacted as well, please, you know, leave a comment and let me know, like, if it impacted you and what did you do, you know, to get yourself in a better situation. But that's all that I have for this evening. Please like, share, subscribe to this video. I'm gonna continue to do this series, finding a trucking job. Y'all be on the lookout for my shorts, and I'll let you all know who was the next company that interviewed me. But y'all be blessed, and I love you all.